viewers, welcome back. Well, we got our DT250 out on the dirt, out on the track, and it ran great. That was super fun. Got a little clip in that last video of me riding the track. So she did great, and it's in dirt trim right now. So we are coming to phase 2, which I've been super excited about, which is bringing it back to street legal trim. Now, I didn't want to restore this with the stock blinkers and headlights and gauges and whatnot, but I did want to get it street legal enough to at least ride it down the street a little bit to the local bike nights. And so I did a little searching online and found this great kit put together by a guy who likes to ride his dirt bike on the street, and started building a kit for his friends and put it online, available to buy. And this is a street lighting kit for dirt bikes, basically. And it's about $250. You can get a 12 volt stator for this and convert this to 12 volt. That's about a $450 kit. And then you can run all 12 volt lighting on one of these old bikes. But I want to go a different direction. So let me switch the camera around here, and I'll try and show you what comes in this kit and what I'm thinking. So these are the major components to the kit I bought, provided by Street OHV. So you can Google that up, or I'll put the just put the link down in the description. And it comes with a wiring harness here and a controller switch for your handlebars. It has left and right turn signals, horn, and a headlight if you choose to buy that, which is an extra upgrade to the kit, another $50 or so, which I did. I bought this headlight, and it comes with a rear blinker strip. This will go left and right blinker, and then front 2 blinker strips to strap onto your forks. These LED strips. Comes with a horn and some other awesome miscellaneous little parts that you might need. Now this is set up to go on your 12 volt system on your bike, but you can run it at a full battery only setup, which is what I'm going to do. So I got my anti-gravity battery here. As you know, or may not know, these are awesome because they're so tiny, and you can run them in any format. On the bike, you can run them sideways. You can run them upside down, hanging wherever you want. Lots of different possibilities to mount it somewhere, maybe behind the tank there, under the seat. And that will be the power to run the whole system. It won't be recharging from the bike system because the bike is 6 volts. And this is a 12 volt setup. So I'll run basically a parallel system. I still have my little 6 volt battery in the bike to run the ignition. And that's really all it's running right now, is just starting the bike, since there's no lights on it. And then I'll have my anti-gravity running. This battery will run all this other lighting, and I will just set up a charger to recharge it each time. I checked with the manufacturer, and even with the headlight, he said there's no problem getting a couple hours of lighting out of one of these batteries. And that's all I'm going to need to take it down to the bike night. I'm not going to do any touring on this thing or anything. It's basically a dirt bike. But it'll be fun to get it out on the street a little bit. And it also comes with a nice manual that they when you buy it, they will email you this PDF. Oops, just turn it off. And has all the instructions. So I'm going to tear into that now, and I'll let you know how it's going soon. Okay, now we have all the components hooked up, and it's hooked up to the gravity battery, and here's the front blinkers and running lights, and that's the rear running light and blinker. I have no idea if this needs to be grounded to the frame or not, or if it'll just run here as a system, but there's one way to find out. Here is the controller switch to the on. Oh, there we go. We got our two, those look like one, but it's two strips. Our rear license plate, that will also be the brake. And here's our headlight. Let's try the blinkers, signals, indicators, whatever you want to call them. There is left. Hard to see in this, but one of them moves left. There's right. Left. Right. And then it just goes back to the running lights when you're not on the signal. And there's a horn too. Beep beep. It's really loud, so I'm not going to do it again because everyone is actually asleep in my house right now. But I'm pretty stoked on this. We'll have to get it on the bike and see how it works. All right. So the brake actuator mechanism for our street lighting kit is for turning on the brakes. It came with this banjo bolt, which is designed to connect to the rear braking system of a hydraulic system. But as we have a 1974 dirt bike, there's no hydraulic system. It's all done with cables. So my idea is to remove this and replace it with a actuator from the front brake lever, which is common on these bikes. It goes in right there, and when you move the brake lever, it simply pushes in this plunger, or I should say releases the plunger, one or the other. Anyway, I've tried this one, which was an aftermarket one, I believe, from I don't know, an aftermarket supplier, and this peg, it just bent. It's made out of sort of the same plastic as this housing, and it's just not that strong. So I went ahead and upgraded and reordered another one, which is supposedly the Yamaha replacement, which is this one here. And this one here, the peg is like a stiff nylon. So I don't think that, it definitely doesn't bend. Definitely doesn't bend like this one does. So we'll try this one and see if that works. And hopefully that'll work to actuate the brakes and give it the signal. So the next step in installing our street lighting kit is trying to figure out where to put this battery. So a couple ideas. Originally I had thought I'm going to put it right there. There's a tray that goes there. This tray here, and this tray here. So I was going to basically create a new tray so this battery could sit sideways next to this other one. You will notice two problems. One is that blocks the air intake, and the second one is it sits right over the hot exhaust pipe. So maybe not ideal. Let's figure out some other places we could put it. maybe somewhere here within the engine area, such as back in here. Built some brackets for it, put it in there. Possibility, we could put it maybe up here behind the number plate. Probably make some space for it there. Yeah, there's some space down there. We can move the number plate out, put it in there. But what I think I'll do, I'm looking around, is on this side there's also a side plate. And there's not really anything behind it. Clearly this was some sort of tray to hold, I don't know what it held, because the tool kit goes up under the seat. And so I'm not sure exactly what this is designed to hold. However, the battery would go right nicely there, as you can see when we flip over the cover. Look at that, it would fit kind of right in there. So I'm thinking that's the spot. And the only thing I need to do is to modify, basically take this shelf off. This is part of the airbox. The filter's on the other side, on the inside of this. So I need to kind of remove the shelf, which I wish I would have known while I had it out. But I think if I just make some cuts here and here, and fold these back, and then either use this shelf or fold it down and customize a new one. That way the pieces will still be there. I could always fold them back up and hold on to them. So that's what I think I'll try and do, so that the battery will basically sit in there behind that cover, and then we'll be able to reach the rest of the wires around and get the lighting set up. So that's what I'm going to try. Alright guys, well I think I have this figured out. Here's my solution. So here's the cover back on. I'll show you how I ended up hanging the battery. This is just a press on, but it's tight. Alright, there's our battery. This is sliding a bit, so I need to adjust this, but what I did is took some wire to this upper strap hook and used this strap, which is the original that held down the tool roll under the seat. And that original strap has just the right wired rails to go over these hooks. There's a similar one down underneath. And I just bent back these tabs for that tool tray that was there, or that tray, and they sit against the battery on the front, and then a little bit in the back. Oops. Sorry, I'm trying to get the video there. In the back. And that locates it fore and aft, so it can't go forward or back. And then the strap holds it pretty securely up and down. There's a little bit of shake there. And then I'll just run the wires here up into the rest of the harness, strap it in, and start wiring in our lights. So I'm pretty happy with that solution. It is a little close to the chain and any chain spray. So if I was gonna ride this on track again, or a situation where there would be mud or dirt or anything but a dry day on the street, I would probably pull this battery out, or I can come up with a solution to kind of cover these terminals a little better, because they're a little bit out there right now. And that thing in the middle is a fusible link for the battery. And I think this is going to be a good solution. It's great that I can mount this upside down or sideways or any which way. So I will continue on. I'll let you know how it goes. So I'm working on attaching these flasher strips to the forks. You can see I've done one here. And they come with this simple zip tie that's molded in to go around the fork leg. Unfortunately, on these ones, since this is a vintage bike, these upper fork legs are a little small compared to the diameter. I think it's definitely made to use more modern upside down forks, which would have a diameter similar to that. So what I'm doing is I have these little wire loom brackets, and they have this rubber strip on the inside, which happens to be just about the right size and length, and has a nice channel. And I'm putting these around them, which adds a little bit more thickness, and then they can hold a bit more tightly on the fork leg. So that's what I'm working on here. Hey guys, so I got my street lighting kit installed and it's working really good. As you remember, the battery is under there. So one section of wire runs here to the tail light, which will also flash when you grab the brake, and it will blinker right, blinker left, and then it goes back to running light. Up front, we've got running lights left and right, and headlight, and the running lights switch to blinkers left and right. This nifty little mirror also came with the kit. Not much, but enough to claim a little bit of street legal status. The controller mount, the controller switches go right here on your left handlebar, and this is just the on-off for the whole system, and then it also has a horn. I ordered the horn, it's an extra. And then I wired it up so that right here there's a link to put the charger on the battery. So it's a full loss system. It's just running straight off the battery, not connected to the bike at all. But when I get home, I can reconnect the battery behind here to the charger and charge it back up for the next time. So I'm pretty stoked on it. And then one more thing I'll mention is I added a cell phone mount and got a speedometer app. So I use that as my speedometer. I just put my phone here. So theoretically, what you need to be street legal is headlight, speedometer, brake light, turn signals, and headlight and mirror. So I'm technically street legal once again, and it seems to work really good. So I'm stoked on that. All right, thanks for watching.